Sunday Morning Matters on KC24, your local election headquarters.
Back with our panelists, the Fresno Bee's Rory Appleton, local attorney Amparo Seed, and Fresno Councilman Steve Brandow. Thanks for being here. So Measure P, what happened, guys? Councilman, I know this was not something that you were pushing. I think a lot of people were surprised because not that it didn't pass. 66% is a high number to meet, but the fact that on election night, it was sitting below 50%. That was lower than a lot of people thought.
And I think it was shocking to a lot of people. Even people who were opposing the measure were expecting it to be in the high 50s or maybe even approach 60. And I heard a lot of people tell me that, you know, but to keep it under 50, that shocked a lot of people.
I mean, what do you think that says?
You know,
how did that happen?
I think, well, for starters, it's organized opposition, okay? As you mentioned, Evan, 67% is a very high threshold under any circumstances. But when you have opposition that's organized, that's going out there working the streets and has money to spend, it doesn't even have to go dollar for dollar. But and I think there was a pretty aggressive organized opposition. And so I think that still to me doesn't explain why it stayed under 50. I think we'll find out in the days to come. They'll probably go out and poll the public, and you'll find out that the public had some questions about how the money was going to be spent.
Amparo, you were a big supporter of Measure P.
Absolutely.
And I know that the big supporters of Measure P are very disappointed right now.
I have to tell you, I take a long view on things.
Okay.
I always take a long view on things. And for me, this was actually phenomenal how things went on election night.
Okay.
Because in my mind, looking at Fresno and being in Fresno, you have a strong mayor city, you have police against this, and you have fire. And when you think about where our firemen have gone in the past few months in saving homes and so forth, that is a mighty opposition. So to have a grassroots effort that just a few years ago, the very same mayor who is now at the Central Valley Community Foundation, backing a community measure that came from youth bringing up issues around parks, to me blew me away. And seeing that community galvanizing, I had friends who are moms bringing their babies in their strollers with them.
Are you selling this as a success then on election night?
For me, who did not have money
who
did not have money in the game, I actually think that where it went on election night, that those community members should be incredibly proud of how they did, where it ended up, just based on the opposition that they had.
Ashley Swearingen may not feel
again.
Ashley Swearingen, you know, may not feel the exact same way because they had a lot of money. I mean, I think what seemed like $2 million.
$2 million.
I think she should be proud.
Well, and now the question is, Rory, where do we go from here? The mayor has already indicated that, you know, he wants to do what he's wanted to do before, and that's kind of get a public safety and parks measure together that maybe instead of being a 3/8 of a cent, it would be a half cent, so maybe generate a little bit more money. But he's going to have to mend some fences because we had some pretty tall fences that were built up here and lobbing grenades at each other.
I mean, I think that there is a definite rift that will have to be healed. I mean, you just can't have the previous two mayors calling the current mayor a liar. I mean, I saw today Alan Autry said that on KMJ. You know, and I think the vigor with which he and the leaders of the city, in terms of Chief Dyer, Chief Donis, came out against this, just very, very aggressively. We were very, very shocked in the newsroom as this went. I mean, I think I kind of took the view of, well, you can have both. You know, they went through this grassroots effort. They got, you know, the 30-some-odd thousand signatures that they needed. You know, let them have their chance, and then, you know, public safety can have its chance too, and maybe the people will want. But I think the general consensus was the people will not want tax increases for both, but that's how democracy works. You can give it a chance. And so I think in order to fix it, especially with a new council seated that is moving further to the left, I think clearly moving further away from the mayor in terms of, you know, he supported both their opposing candidates. I think come January, Brand has got to, you know, have everybody together, and there's got to be a uniform path forward that's formed very early.
And the mayor's office will tell you if there's one thing, and Mayor Brand will tell you if there's one thing that he's done over and over in his career, it is reach across, and it is try to find partnerships with people that perhaps sometimes don't agree with them. But when the measure did not get 50%, I'm curious if it scares the mayor or others from saying, well, even if we were to get the police and fire on board and do a public safety and parks tax. Is there still going to be enough to reach that 66.6%, Councilman?
Yeah, and I was actually privy to some early polling, and the truth is a lot of the polling showed that it would struggle in whatever form that it came. Whether it was a compromise package that many people were hoping for, even that would struggle to get to 67%. So I really don't believe, Rory, that it will matter how far left council, it won't even matter what position council takes. What depends on what connects with the voters. Do they believe they're going to get something for their money? I think they rejected parks by itself. I'd be very interested to see if you add public safety. And you're right, Amparo, they're great people on both sides. Former Mayor Swearingen and her team did a great job. They canvassed the neighborhoods. They got it on the ballot. But I'll tell you what's going to take more than that. It's going to be connecting with all of Fresno, making sure everybody gets something.
Yeah, really quick. And just to answer this question, and the answer is that, is there a path forward? Do you think, because like Building Healthy Communities, they're mad. They're mad at the mayor. They're mad at the police chief. Is there a way for them to move forward and work together?
Well, whoever is in the mayor's circle needs to tell him that while this tax measure may require 2/3, that is not what is required to be re-elected mayor of the city of Fresno.
Oh, well, okay.
So
well, that says a lot right there.
I would say Parks absolutely has a chance in the future.
Okay. I thank you so much, panel. Fantastic discussion, and we'll look forward to seeing where this goes, because it's going to be brought up over and over again. We're going to take a quick break.